So I saw this TikTok.
If you're the average guy, I'm speaking to the average guy. I don't think the dating apps go in your favor because the women on dating apps have unrealistic high expectations for the most part. Majority of the women on dating apps are looking for the one percenters. You gotta understand there's competition on there, and a lot of the women on there are locked in on certain specific things. There's nothing talking about a man's character and how you move in certain environments that make you attractive outside of the superficial shit, chat.
Now, I'm actually going to give a contrarian opinion to this, at least in some senses. And I have two perspectives on this because I have my own experience and my ex's experience. I would say, yes, it is generally true. The women that you run into are going to be lower quality connections and they're going to judge you a lot more harshly. But a lot of average men just lack a few key things that help them here. Like, for example, having a good style, taking good photos, having a good bio. Things like that go a really long way. The thing a lot of people who date online don't understand when it comes to these apps, I used to work in sales. And one thing you understand in sales is that more contacts get you to what you want. Like, for example, you may have to call 100 people before you make one sale. I may have to talk to 20 or 30 people. I may have 5 people waste my time. So when it comes to these dating apps, like for me, I might hit up 100 different women. Of those 100, maybe 15 to 30 respond depending on the batch. In the end, maybe only like 5 to 10 are interested. And then of those 5 to 10, probably half of them end up ghosting me or just dry, boring, and so on. And I really only end up with maybe like 2 or 3 women who are really worth talking to. Now, granted, I'm also looking for like a deeper type of connection. If you're just looking for hookups and stuff like that, maybe 10 of those of the 100 may actually like land, you know what I mean? But that's still 100 contacts. So what men do is they just wake up, go talk to 5 women, get no responses or dry responses, and then they keep repeating the pattern every day. Okay, swipe on 5 different women, try them. And the thing is, it's not that you're failing, it's just that the volume is different. So that's why a lot of dating apps don't work for people. You just need excessive volume. The more volume you output, the more women you talk to, the more likely you are to actually get interest. Like me, I never had problems with dating apps. Now, granted, what I didn't like about it though was that the connections were low quality. And in the end, the women who really took me seriously, quote unquote, like the ones who took me really, really seriously, they always had like issues, baggage, etc. Like the women I've met in person, on the other hand, whether it be like gyms, social circles, etc., I've had way better luck with those types of women. And in general, the women who are in your social circle, i.e., friends, again, gym, etc., I've had way better odds pulling very attractive women in those social circles. I've never pulled a 10-10 off a dating app, but I've pulled several in person from my social circles, or 9 out of 10. Because here's also another thing that men don't really understand. A lot of women, in all honesty, are not used to actually having decent men in their lives. Like, even though red pill culture would have you believe, oh, well, these women, they want 10-10 men who, are the 1%. Obviously, women would love to idealize these types of men, and of course, they would like to have them. But with my ex, for example, which I'll probably ping pong her perspective on this, or what I've seen with her, yeah, at first, women do have unrealistic expectations. She was like that. She would go out on dates and expect like 10-10 treatment, and if she didn't get it, she was ghosting guys. But eventually, something ended up happening. She went out on so many dates and talked to so many men for months on end. She realized what she wanted was unrealistic, so she slowly started adjusting her expectations. And then she was entertaining guys who she said she would never entertain in the first place. But back to my core point, one thing men don't understand is that these women are used to trash men. You know how many women I've gone out on dates with, and then the ex comes up somehow, or how they've been treated by men come up. And I'll be like, so you've never been to this type of restaurant before? And they'll say no. And it's like, if I'm taking you out to like, let's say it's like $100 for both of us, nothing crazy. When they start saying stuff like that, you already know kind of the way they've been treated. Or you'll just ask them other questions. And like their ex-boyfriends are trash. The men that they deal with are trash. Like if you're an average dude, you got a stable job, you got a car, you got your life together. From your perspective, you may just be like, I'm just an average man. But you do understand that like a lot of dudes are trash. Even if they're average, they're abusive, mentally abusive, toxic. Like if you're just straight, stable, normal, you're not toxic or abusive or crazy, you actually stand out in the marketplace way more than you may think. Because women also have hella baggage. And again, it's easy to look inward on yourself and be like, "Oh, man, I don't got my life together, or I only make, 25 an hour, or whatever it is, right? So of course it's easy to look in on yourself and just be like, well, I'm not some 10-10 red pill guy. Like, what can I offer? But in reality, these women, again, are used to trash men. They're used to men who take them out on no dates. They're used to toxic and abusive men. And these women, they also don't got it together. They also work low-end jobs. They also have bad habits, no skills. A decent portion of these women also have kids because they were messing around with the wrong men. So again, it's easy to be hard on yourself. But like, if you got no kids, you're just a generally average dude, like all you have to do is just get in shape, shape. I don't mean like shredded. I just mean like in shape, like down to a low body fat percentage, like 20% and under. Have a decent set of muscles. You can get this by going to the gym casually for a year. Like, do that, have a car, have a regular job, and then get a decent style. Carry yourself like a man. And it's really not that hard. Most of the dudes my ex talks to, and in general, like, my ex, I would say is like a 7 to 8, depending on if you're her type or not. My ex is pretty attractive, low key. And she also has a really cool personality. She's just an evil woman deep down, but these men ain't gonna find that out for a while. But the point is, the guys I see her dating, only like 2 of them have actually been like pretty damn attractive. And only 1 of them was really like out of her league. But nah, I don't really think that these men are as hopeless as they think. You just have to understand that it's a numbers game. The more reps, volume you put out there, the more likely you are to get women. Because there's a lot of trash women out there who are insecure, who really don't got a lot going on in their lives. And I'm not saying you want to match with a trash woman. I'm just saying it's not as bad as you think. A lot of these women are insecure, they carry shame, issues, etc. So just keep that in mind. The girl that you're nervous to swipe on, she's probably nervous that you messaged her. So anyways, it's just my opinion. I'm out. Peace.